10 years of bloody and gruesome civil war officially ended in 2002. It left 75,000 people dead and 20,000 physically challenged, and thousands of lost child soldiers. It was declared the poorest country in the world. Sierra Leone has a population of nearly 6 million. 70% live below the poverty line, 62% live in rural areas, and barely survive on virtually nothing. The population is divided between Muslim and Christians. The official languages are English and Krio. Today, the capital Freetown still has no electricity. The rich have generators. Poor make do with small kerosene lamps for lighting. This is the grim scenario of the country Idris and More came from when they arrived in the Barefoot College in June 2004. They belong to a small indigenous organization called Safer Future, sponsored by the Austrians. To learn all about solar electrification, they stayed for 6 months and left in October 2004. Together, they solar electrified 10 houses in a village and set up a workshop to train youth on solar energy. In September 2006, the Barefoot College responded with a visit to Safer Future. The idea was to jointly select the first 2 remote rural villages ever to be solar electrified in the country. But to make it even more unique, train illiterate rural women to solar electrify their own village. Women have to walk 6 miles and pay $5 to get 1 gallon of kerosene from the nearest town of Waterloo. That has to last them 1 month. A democratic, transparent process that had never been seen in the country was followed when the 2 villages, Konchaline, 48 houses, and Moing Mibana, 19 houses, predominantly Muslim, were selected. All the families in these 2 villages had to participate in taking 2 major decisions. How much were they prepared to pay for the use of the solar units, consisting of 2 lights and 1 solar lantern? After an open debate in the presence of their religious leaders, they agreed in writing to pay $2 per month. Who would go for training to India to be a solar engineer? They had to select 2 women. The women had to be rooted in their village and had to be illiterate. This was beyond everybody's comprehension. Finally, they chose Nancy and Fatu, both typical women in their late 40s, one already a grandmother, poor, illiterate, owning some land, having large families, earning their living selling palm oil and agricultural produce. Within 2 months of their selection, they arrived in India in January 2007. They had never been to school, never been to the capital of their country, never flown in a plane, and never gone so far away from home. It required extraordinary courage. Coming to a strange land, wearing strange clothes, eating strange food, meeting, staying and working with women from different countries like Bolivia, Cameroon, Afghanistan, Mali, and no one understanding their language Krio. These pressures are enough to make anyone run away. On top of that, learning about electronics and fabricating complicated solar energy parts, identifying components without the written word, only from their color, and learning only with their hands about soldering and installation, and establishing a rural electronic workshop to repair and maintain units in their village. Incredibly, that is what they accomplished in 6 months. When they returned in July 2007 with no paper certificates, they knew more about solar installation than solar engineers who had gone through 5 years of any university in Sierra Leone. Before they left India in July, they packed each and every part. When the consignment arrived in November 2007, in their village, they unpacked it within days. established the rural electronic workshop, and within 2 weeks, they solar electrified each house in both villages. It was a miracle that made people in their village look at these very ordinary women with awe. In December 2007, in the presence of highest officials in government, politicians and local leaders, the first 2 remote villages ever to be solar electrified by 2 illiterate rural women were inaugurated.
Control line suffered a loss during the war. One of the villages really didn't suffer. But thank God today we celebrate a good project. Now control line first will get light before even Freetown will get light.
So on behalf of His Excellency the President, the government and people of Sierra Leone, let me thank you for this very noble venture and to say that we are happy that it has been introduced here and we look forward to its development.
So now the village people and get for Sidom, now select me say I'm for go. So right now, how me they feel now? I feel good of myself because waiting do. I don't go school, but I don't learn how to be say. Now how be say. I the benefit say go to me picking the word don't born.
Now say me no go school. I born can say no problem. Electric no go school. So I want suppose you no go school. Now they go India. They go learn. I say no problem. Me self agree with the community there. The community self themselves they happy. I go Indian. So right now we don't face their system here, so we don't improve the host them. All we don't install the host them. But right now, but cool people then they bien we for them thing also they self they want them to let them improve.
In a very quiet and gentle way, by setting an example, they sent a powerful message throughout the country. That is, in the hands of women, anything is possible.